Are you ready to start making some sawdust? Let's go. Hi there. Welcome to episode 1 of Start Making Sawdust, where I'm going to try to get you off the couch and out to making some sawdust. So who did I make this video for, and why did I make it? I'm making this video because I myself, a long time ago, really wanted to get into doing more woodworking and found myself getting enough satisfaction watching other people do woodworking videos on YouTube. And as much as I'd love you to hang out and watch my videos all day long because it's good for me, I also want to get you in the shop and get you making some sawdust. So who is this for? This is for beginner woodworkers, people who have an apartment, who have a house, and have DIY needs. They need to fix a crooked bifold door in a laundry room, or need to make a quick repair to a piece of trim. Anything that gets you making sawdust, because that's where the hook is. You see, there's just something magical about sawdust. It's just, it's fun, it's satisfying. Heck, even cleaning it up is fun. That's why I want you to enjoy the satisfaction yourself of making some sawdust. But before we get into making sawdust, we've got to cover some shop safety rules. I keep this sign in my shop as a reminder, and I think it's a good time for us to go over these. So let's just walk through them. Number 1, always wear appropriate safety equipment. Number 2, avoid wearing loose-fitting clothing. Number 3, keep your workspace clean and uncluttered. Number 4, avoid working alone, or at least make sure someone knows where you are. Number 5, know where your safety stops, first aid, and fire extinguishers are. What do I mean by safety stops? Some tools like my laser cutter, saws, CNC, they have big red push buttons. You smash that big red button and power is severed to the unit and it stops working. Number 6, inspect equipment for loose hardware and or obstructions. Number 7, inspect your bits and blades for serviceability. Number 8, confirm dust collection and air filtration is functioning. If you're just starting out and you don't have these things, invest in a good respirator. It doesn't have to be chemical grade, but you need a dust mask. Number 9, be mindful of blades, bits, and where your hands might be. Number 10, avoid feeling rushed. That's when accidents happen. And I can't overstate this one enough. If you're feeling like you need to hurry up and get something done, please don't use power tools. It's just not worth it. Okay, there you go. 10 shop safety rules. Take the time to review these, write them down, save them. I'll put a copy of this poster in the description. Take it to FedEx and get it printed on a big poster board and put it up in your shop. I would love nothing more than to know that you're being safe because I gave you a poster. And remember, personal protective equipment saves lives. Quick note about safety. It can't be overstated. If you skip the safety portions of my videos, you do so at your own peril. These tools can and will hurt you if you're not careful. Now, there are a lot of ways to make sawdust, but predominantly if you're just getting started out, you're going to be making sawdust with saws. We'll get into some other tools later on that can also make sawdust, but in today's video, episode number 1, let's focus on saws. Whether you're using hand saws, this is a Japanese style pull saw, or a reciprocating saw, which if that's too many syllables for you, we just call it a jigsaw, or a circular saw. These are all great options, and you're probably going to end up with all of these in your toolbox. And I would highly encourage you to read the manuals that come with your tools. Hey, if you're a guy, pay attention, because I'm a guy and I get told all the time the same advice, and I don't listen to it either. Read the manuals that come with your tools. You will discover interesting things that your tools are capable of that you didn't know until you read the manual. So I made a couple of other videos that are probably helpful to touch on at this point. One of them is about what goes in your first toolbox. So as we go through this series, I will assume that you have the tools that are in that toolbox. The other video that I think is helpful for beginners is a video that I made recently called 10 Tips for Mastering the Measuring Tape. Why is that relevant? Because making good marks consistently will help you with your woodworking. I'll offer a quick brush up in this video once we get back in the shop, but let's finish gassing up the tractor first. So why do I say it's important to consistently be able to mark wood? The more consistently you can apply a line to the wood, the more accurately your cuts will be. And the more practice you get at that, the better you'll become at it. So what do I mean by that? I mean, having a pencil with a fairly thin line weight, this is a 0.7 millimeter, a good, doesn't have to be expensive. This is some cheap big box store square, but something to mark your lines with that you can practice with to get comfortable. In the next few videos, and even in this video, we're probably going to start marking some wood and making some cuts. This is all about repetition. And if you go watch the longer video, 20 minutes on mastering a tape measure is kind of long, but I go into deeper detail about why visually it matters where you stand to mark a line, why it matters what pencil that you use. So anyway, enough said on that topic. Okay, time for some practical application. Hopefully you've got an old piece of scrap wood laying around, or just any piece of wood, something you can write on with a pencil. Hopefully you've got a decent, good quality writing implement. Hopefully you've got a square, and if not, please refer to the shopping list in the description for things that I think you should pick up in preparation for making sawdust. The other thing is, if you watched my really long video on how to master the tape measure, you'll know that I keep tape measures attached to everything, including on me, anytime while I'm in the shop. Hopefully you have a tape measure as well. Let's get started. Measure the length of your board, and let's see how long it is. This one is 25 and some odd inches long. We won't get into details. So, for your first practical application, let's use your pencil, use your square, and a piece of wood. Let's measure, and your tape measure, and let's measure every 5 inches. Strike a line with your pencil, come back around with your square, strike a long line with your square. When you're done, take your measuring tape and measure and see how well you did. This is not to judge you or anything. This is just to get you laying down some repetition. Let's get started. Working at an angle here, so I'm a little bit disadvantaged. All right, so let's go 5 inches, 10 inches, 15 inches, and 20 inches. Okay, there's our lines. Now let's take our square. If you watched my other video, one of the tips that I had was that I like to put my pencil on the mark that I have, slide my square over until it touches the pencil, and then strike my line. So let's rinse and repeat. Let's do that for the marks that we made. All right, we have our lines. Now grab your tape measure and evaluate how well you did. I'd say that's pretty spot on for 5 inches. That's a little bit off for 10 inches. That's pretty well spot on for 15 inches. And yeah, that's off a little bit for 20 inches. So I hope you don't skip this step. Getting this practice in, getting reps, will only make you better and only improve your consistency. All right, that was fun, marking some lines. Now, it might seem like, oh my gosh, this is so basic, I don't need this. And maybe you don't. If you don't, feel free to skip ahead. But if you don't take the time to practice these basic, fundamental, super easy, crawl before you walk, walk before you run kind of things, then your woodworking won't progress as well as you'd like it to. So I hope you'll take the time to do that practical application. Take that same piece of wood, measure every 1 inch, every 2 inches, every 3 inches, make as many lines on that board as you can, and evaluate how well you're doing each time. If you find that you can't seem to get that mark in the right place, then please go watch my other video on 10 tips for mastering the measuring tape, where I talk about things like parallax and how to line up with where you're making your mark, and some things like using 2 lines instead of 1 to increase the accuracy of your marking. All right, gang, this is going to wrap us for episode 1. I hope you appreciate the content we went through. I hope I kept it short enough and concise enough and that you got something from it. If you did, please drop a comment. Let me know your favorite part of the video. Let me know something you wish I'd have covered. Let me know something you'd like to see in one of the future episodes. Comments drive my content. So anytime a user stops me long enough to have a conversation about a woodworking topic, I got plenty of time to stop and make a video about it. So please take me up on it. All right, friends, that's it for me. Until next time, peace, love, and sawdust. I'm out. Because having the right, I don't have the right pencil. Cut, guess we'll try this one again. Blooper reel. Where's my pencils? I can't find my pencils. Where's my swing line?